Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Lisa, and this channel is all about my journey into a healthier lifestyle. I was on a weight loss journey. I am currently in maintenance mode right now, and I'm really focusing now, obviously, maintaining my weight and what that looks like, but in addition to that, looking at my exercise and how I stay healthy. My true focus of this channel is to really make it so that I live however many years more I have of my life as healthy as possible. So that is really my focus here. So as I said, right now I'm kind of focusing on how I can change my body composition. So now that I've lost weight, I still have more body fat than I probably want and less muscle mass. So I'm trying to kind of take these two things and maybe do something like that. Like I said, sort of shift my body composition. And I'm doing that through obviously resistance training as well as what I'm eating. So anyway, today is my week 20 update. So I have just completed 20 weeks on this journey, and let's get into how last week went. So as I mentioned, I just finished my 20th week of this weight loss / now maintenance journey, and it has been an interesting week and one that I am looking forward to. I don't know if that's the right word, but I am anxious to talk to you guys about, because it has definitely been a different week for me than I have experienced before. So for those who are new, or as a reminder to those of you, I started this journey at 183.8 pounds. I had an initial goal of getting down to about 150 pounds, or I should say not about, to get down to 150 pounds. I'm sorry, for reference, just so you know, I am just slightly over 5'6" tall. I used to be closer to 5'7", but as I get older, I'm shrinking. So now I am, like I said, just a smidge over 5'6". And I originally, like I said, had a goal of 150. I am 57 years old, obviously a female, and I wasn't quite sure when I started on this weight loss journey if I would be able to get below 150. The last time I lost weight, I really couldn't get below about 155, and that was sort of when I was in perimenopause. And I didn't know. I'm postmenopausal now. I didn't know what my body would be, I guess, willing to do at 57 years old. And I just wanted to give myself what I thought was a reasonable goal, I guess. And I have lived a good number of years, about 13, 14 years, at around the 143, 145-ish range. So I know that that's a really comfortable place for me, but again, that was, pre-menopause, pre-perimenopause. That was, when I was just, my body was working like it was supposed to, or I guess it's still working like it's supposed to, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so I wanted to give myself maybe a little buffer, I don't know, so I picked 150. And then as I got pretty close to 150 and I was still losing weight consistently, I thought, okay, let's shift that. And so I shifted my goal to an easy round number of 40 pounds lost, which would take me to 143.8. I achieved that goal, so that 40-pound loss, at the end of 15 weeks. And since then, I have continued to lose, definitely more slowly, which is great. But have continued to lose. And last week in my update, I told you that I weighed in at 138.8. So I have now lost a total of 45 pounds. So again, if some of you are new and you don't know how I lost my weight, first and foremost, I lost it with mostly diet and exercise and with the help of a GLP-1 medication. I specifically take compounded tirzepatide, which is the active ingredient in mounjaro and Zepbound. Some people take semaglutide, which is the active ingredient in Ozempic and Wegovy, for those of you who have heard of those particular drugs. I use the telehealth company Fridays Health. I am an advocate for them, but I joined them prior to me becoming an advocate for them. I think they are absolutely incredible. If this kind of weight loss journey or using a GLP-1 medication is something that you have thought about and are interested, this month, frankly, is a great time to investigate Fridays because they're doing 50% off your first month, which is something that I think they've only done one other time in the history of the company. So it is a great time to do it. There are many things that I love about Fridays Health. A couple of note, and I have a whole video on Fridays Health. If you want to go watch that, I'll link it up in the cards above. But I love that they not only provide medication, but they really take care of the whole patient. So I like to, when I reference this, I like to talk about it as a three-legged stool. And it's, like I said, not just the medication, but they have these three legs of the stool that I think are really important, which is nutritional counseling, mental health coaching, and fitness or movement. And all three of those things really need to be addressed in order for you to be successful, not only in the weight loss portion of your journey, but also as you move into maintenance, which is what I'm in right now. So I have worked with other telehealth companies, and by I mean, I don't mean work with as in I have any kind of partnership with them, but just I have been a member of other telehealth companies and have not found those telehealth companies to have what Fridays provides its members, and they really truly value their members as a whole, not as a number, and not just as a here's your drugs, go and do your thing. Like, they really, really want you to be successful, and they give you all of these other things that you can focus on so that you can be successful in the long run. So as I mentioned, obviously I am taking compounded tirzepatide, and so that has helped me with some of those things like food noise and keeping hunger at bay, and making me feel fuller longer after I do eat something. It's an incredible medication. As many of you know, there have been lots of studies coming out recently that say there are so many other benefits of this medication, not just bringing down people's A1C numbers who are type 2 diabetics, but, regulating your blood sugar, helping with, potentially with Alzheimer's, with helping your cardiovascular system and helping with sleep apnea. I mean, it's just the studies that come out are almost, I feel like every week they're coming out with something new that these drugs benefit. And there are even more in the pipeline. Like, I can't wait to see what the future brings as it relates to this class of medications and what it's going to do for the world, not just the United States, for the world. So as I mentioned, I am now in maintenance, and I did meet with my provider a couple weeks ago to discuss how we would move through maintenance. Now, again, if you're new, I only went up to the 5 milligram dose. So I started on 2.5. I did a couple weeks of 3.75. That's kind of the beauty of compounded medication, is you can draw up the dose that you want. And I did a dose of 5, and that did not work well for me, at least right then. I got very, very sick that week. So I backed it off, and then kind of went back down to 2.5, and then did a couple weeks of 3.75 to kind of, sort of ease into the 5 milligram. And then I went to 5 milligram, and that's where I stayed until I hit my goal. And then for a couple weeks after that, until I talked to my provider and I got a new prescription. And she has moved me now down to 2.5, and we will talk about that because this last week was the first week that I moved down to 2.5. But before I talk about how that all went, let me give you the statistics, because I know you guys are all waiting for that. So as I said, I did 2.5 milligrams last week. I'm pretty sure I gave it in my right stomach. It was definitely in my stomach, but I can't remember if it was right or left, and I forgot to check my tracker. So anyway, as I mentioned before, I weighed in last week at 138.8, and yesterday when I weighed in for my weekly weigh-in, I weighed 138.2. So during last week, I did continue to lose, obviously at a much slower rate, and that loss was 0.6 pounds. So I have now lost a total of 45.6 pounds over 20 weeks. So every week I have some goals that I want to accomplish, and they are focused on calorie intake, protein intake, and exercise. And I group them or sort of categorize them, at least the protein and the calories, into I did great, I did good, or not so good. And I was really, really hoping, my goal last week was to not have any bad days. But I am here to tell you that I did have, and it was the same day, I did not have a good day for calories and protein, and that was actually yesterday. But there is a reason for that, and I will talk about that. However, I do want to report that I had great days, not for the whole rest of the week, but I had more great days than good or bad. So let me break it down. So for protein, I had 4 great days, and great I characterized as being over my protein goal. So my goal range is from 80 to 108. So if I ate more than 108, I counted that as great. Anything within that 80 to 108, I count as good. And then I had one bad day. I think I only got like 53 grams of protein in, which is probably the least amount of protein that I've gotten in a long, long time. Calories, I had 3 great days. And for me, that was anything over 1,200, I think, maybe over 1,300. I know I had 2 days over 1,300 and definitely one over 1,200. So that was awesome. And then I had 3 good days. And then like I said, I had one bad day, which was yesterday. So the explanation there is that I have another channel that some of you know about, and we are in the middle of our creator weekend get together. And so I was out for a big portion of the day with one of the creators. We were out doing some shopping and whatever. So I had my protein shake, my protein coffee before I left in the morning and had worked, and then went to met her like around 2:30. So I didn't really have a chance to eat anything. And then we didn't eat anything until dinner time. And unfortunately, the dinner I had was not great. Now, when I got home, I did make sure that I had a container of yogurt with some protein granola to try to get a little more protein in, but it just, by that time, it was 11 o'clock at night, and I wasn't going to start trying to eat full meals at 11 o'clock at night, but I at least wanted to get some additional protein in and some additional calories. So it was partially my fault. It just, the way the day sort of fell and the events that happened during the day, it just, I never really had another chance to eat during the day until we all went to dinner, and we had basically 8:30, I think, reservations. So anyway, that was not great. I did have I had 1 glass of wine and 1 drink, and I did fine. I mean, I felt some effects, but it didn't make me sick or anything like that. So I did have what I would probably call some empty calories in those calories that I did consume yesterday, but it was one day, we're gonna let it go. But I was really, really proud of myself that I had so many great days, not necessarily with the protein, because I generally do pretty well with protein, but that I had so many great days with calories. So I was really able to get more calories in, which is great. Now, there is a downside to that, and I'm going to talk about that shortly, but I at least was really happy with the calorie intake. And obviously, it wasn't too much. I think my BMR is maybe like around 1400, something like that, 1450, I don't know. So I'm not too far off of that. I mean, obviously that's BMR, that's like, you know, what it would take to run your body if you were literally laying in a bed and not moving and just breathing. So obviously I do expend more calories. I do move and I do things. So, but yeah, but I was really, really, really happy with that. For those of you who may be new, I have struggled during my journey to get enough calories in to even hit my calorie deficit goal. And so this, like I said, I just felt really, really accomplished this week as it related to that part of my eating. Now, where I did not do so well was on the exercise front. So again, this was sort of circumstantial. So my mom actually came to visit basically at the very beginning of this past week of, you know, my week to my Thursday to Thursday kind of thing. And so I was able to work out twice. I worked out on Sunday and then I worked out on Tuesday because she had gone to visit a friend in Connecticut. So I didn't feel bad like leaving her. And then, like I said, I've got this creator thing happening. So I really didn't have an opportunity between work and meeting people and whatever on Wednesday and then also yesterday on Thursday. So it's just been a little bit hard, but you know, I did get 2 strength training sessions in this week. It doesn't meet my 3 to 4 times a week minimum that I would like to hit, but at least I did get to the gym. Okay, so let's talk about what didn't go great this week, aside from yesterday with the eating, or that's not what I'm talking about. This week and going down in dose was a big mind you know what to me. My brain did not like 2.5 milligrams again. I have not felt the urge to snack the entire 19 weeks that I have been on this medication. The food noise, dead silent, nothing. You know, I could walk into the pantry and nothing. I mean, I could have Twizzlers in there, which I love, and all sorts of other things that I love, and have absolutely no desire to eat them. I wouldn't think about them. That was completely squashed for me on this medication. In addition to that, I never felt hunger at all. Going back down to 2.5, I felt hunger, which I wouldn't say that it was like, I didn't have a ferocious appetite. I wasn't like super hungry. I would say maybe the amount of hunger that I was experiencing was probably a healthy hunger, to be very honest with you. And maybe that helped, you know, allow me to eat over 1,300 calories some days. So I think that was good. But what else contributed to the 1,300 calories was food was here constantly. Now, would I say like 24/7, maybe like it was before? No, but I would lay in bed and think, I really want to eat something. I really want to snack. In fact, one night I actually went and got like a little small, tiny little handful of cashews. Maybe it was like 7 cashews or something. Because I needed to eat, like it was not leaving my brain. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So I'm not really sure where I'm gonna go from here. I will tell you, I did take 2.5 again yesterday because, you know, I'm not just gonna say with 1 week worth of data that means I shouldn't stay on 2.5 or I should, whatever. I need more data points than that. But I will tell you that I was not happy with the amount of chatter and noise that was in my brain this past week. And it scared me because, like I said, it was there in full force, and that 0.6 pounds that I lost was a battle for me in my head, right? There were so many times during the week where I was like, what's in the pantry? I think you want something to eat. After dinner, I think you want a snack. Never had that before on this medication. This was brand new experience to me. Not brand new experience in my life, but brand new experience to me on this medication. I will obviously have a discussion about that with my provider, assuming that it continues. We'll see. I don't know how this week will go. I'm hoping it's better. I'm hoping that maybe my body just thought, oh, hey, what are you doing? That's a big step down, lady. That's, half the dosage that we had before, because unlike other people, who might be at 10 or 12 and a half, when they go down to the next dose below, it's just 2.5 milligrams less, right? For me, it's half the dose that I was on. I don't know if that attributed to it. I don't know. I'm just theorizing here, I guess is my point. But I will say, I was not a happy camper with that food noise. So as far as my goals go for next week, they're going to continue the same for both protein and calories. I probably will need to move my exercise goal down probably to 2 to 3 times for next week. Because like I said, I have this whole weekend thing going and I know I'm not going to have any time to exercise while I'm getting together with all of these fabulous, fabulous women. So I probably won't be really able to get back into the exercise thing until Monday. So, Monday to Thursday. If I could get 3 in, that would be great. 2 would be fine. But that will be my goal for this coming week. And other than that, I think that's it. I feel like I handled the food noise as best I could, but like I said, it was a struggle. So I will be anxious to see how this next week goes. Let me know in the comments below how your week went. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up. And of course, if you enjoy this kind of content, I would love to see you back here. So click that subscribe button down below and the notification bell so you know when I upload videos. If you want to keep watching, another video will pop up over here in the corner for you to watch. And remember, kindness and hate spread the same. The choice is yours. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.